Hey, your friendly neighborhood geek here, doing another mini Transformer figure review. This time on, excuse me, a better, a much better, or slightly better Legends class Transformer toy. Today we are going to briefly be looking at Transformers Last Night, Legion class Barricade. Yeah, this figure is really cute and really charming. Yeah, if you saw my Ironhide video and you saw what I put comment section, you'll know how disappointed I was in that figure. Not to rant, but I said in my last review that I had been wanting to get into the core class figures, and there still are core class characters, Transformer characters I'd like to get. But I really wanted that Ironhide because I don't have like a traditional Generation G1 Ironhide toy, and I thought the Legend one, looked really cool and it was inexpensive, so I grabbed it. But I was kind of on the fence about getting it because um, and just look at just focus on Barricade while I rant real quick. I was hesitant on getting the Ironhide because I heard some people got theirs with broken pieces or loose pieces or QC issues, and it was just like a mixed bag. Like I was taking a gamble in a way. So I was like, all right, screw it. I'll just go ahead and get one. I was hoping, my fingers crossed, the couple of days it took for me to receive it. I was like, please come in good, good shape. And unfortunately, it came with one of his arm sockets cracked, and I tried to super glue it, and that really didn't help. So I'm just getting rid of that figure altogether. I'm throwing him in as a freebie with a lot of other Transformer toys I'm getting rid of. I'm currently trying to downsize. Um, I'll probably explain in the future video why, but at the moment I could use some extra money. So yeah, I'll just go ahead and get rid of the figures I really don't have like an attachment to per se. So just throwing him in there, throwing him in that bunch. But yes, a slightly better Legion class toy. So like I said, this is Barricade from the last night. Barricade, I believe, has been around since Generation One, I think. But or maybe some of the later incarnations of the Transformers. But I think his most well-known version is the Bayverse version, which appeared in the first movie. So he was in the first movie as a main Decepticon. I think we got our first Autobot versus Decepticon fight with him and Bumblebee, and from that point on, they kind of had a rivalry in those series of movies. He was absent for Revenge of the Fallen. I don't know if he appeared in like comics or video games, tie-in video game comics or anything like that. Then he came back for Dark of the Moon, where he got a new action figure, which yeah, I think is still a solid toy. I mean, both the 2007 and the 20, I think Dark of the Moon came out in 2012. Um, both the Dark of the Moon and the first movie toy Barricade toys, I think still hold up, still have a charm to them. I've been thinking about getting the first 2007 Barricade at some point. Um, and he came back for the last night. I've only seen the last night I think once all the way through, and then from every other time I saw it, I just saw parts. So I don't remember. Don't remember what how much of a role he played in the movie, but I do know we get like an action chase scene with him. That's about it. I don't know if he survives at the end or whatever, vice versa, basically. But again, it was cool that he came back and he got a redesign, and like I said, he got a new toy for the last night, which in my opinion is really cool. I might get that version as well at some point, maybe soon. I don't know. I'm debating if I want to get another Barricade right now. Um, but yeah, I got the Legends one around the time that the movie was out, so the toys are still in stores. As far as the Legend one goes, which has an interesting story, um, the the Legend toys were kind of like, well, the last night in general, a lot of the toys were repaints. Like for example, um, here is my last night Slug, which I really like. I really like this figure, and this is actually my second version. I had this version a little bit after the movie came out, a couple years after the movie came out, but I sold it, and then I decided like that was stupid, and I bought another one. So like I said, I really like this figure, but he's just a repaint of the Age of Extinction version, which was purple. So like I said, unless you missed out on the Age of Extinction one and you like the colors on this one, there was really no point in buying this toy a second time because there's really nothing different about him outside of the color, the paint color scheme on him. Um, so like I said, so a lot of the figures, deluxe figures, were like that. I mean, I think we may have gotten a new, I think Voyager Deluxe Optimus Prime. We got a new Bumblebee. We got a new Hound. I think we got slightly new crosshairs. I don't think I think Drift stayed the same. He was just a different color. We got a new Megatron. Like I said, we got a new Barricade. Some of the Knight characters from that movie got toys, which was cool. So I mean, we did get a handful of new figures, but there were also a lot of repaints. So I think fans were just kind of meh. Like I feel like towards the end of the Bayverse series, the toys kind of went downhill. I think it kind of started with Age of Extinction, even though I really love Age of Extinction, the Age of Extinction toys. But yeah. Um, so like I said, so legend scale wise, this Barricade is a repaint of Transformers Prime Cyberverse Smokescreen, which I actually think is really cool. So really, because outside of the way it looks to represent an evil police car, he show like a closer look at it. To me, he really just kind of looks like Nemesis Smokescreen or Shattered Glass Smokescreen of the evil counterparts of the Transformers or whatever. If you're not familiar with Shattered Glass, there's videos on it. Um, so I think that's kind of funny. Like I said, I see him as like evil Smokescreen, not really Barricade, but I honestly don't mind that. I still think he's a charming toy. And there is like little detail. I might not be able to see it that well on camera, but there's like little detail inside the figure, like there's some detail right here, and I'll show some more when I transform him. He rolls fine. Yeah, the wheels work perfectly. He has some holes on the side, so maybe you could plug a little weapon in there. The original Cyberverse smoke screen had a hole on the top here. So the old Prime Cyberverse toys came with weapons. So you could plug a weapon on the top of the car, for weapon storage or whatever. But since they put this little police light bar on top of it and is glued on there, it's not removable. You can't really do that, which is a bummer. But that's not that big of a deal because these figures didn't come with weapons, which some people were bothered by, me included. Because these figures came with weapons in the past. In the past, these figures came with weapons, so why not put them with these repaints? So like I said, the Legend last night figures, we had Optimus, Megatron, Dragonstorm, Grimlock, Crosshairs, Drift, Hound, and Bumblebee, I believe, and Barricade. Hound, Drift, Crosshairs, Megatron, Dragonstorm were all original new molds, which I would still like to get at some point. But I believe Bumblebee, Optimus, and Barricade were all just repaints are just re-releases. Like the Optimus was from the 2007 movie, and the Bumblebee may have been like from Revenge of the Fallen or something, Dark of the Moon or something like that. So yeah, but again, I just find him to be very charming. This particular mold has gotten several repaints, but I think this was the first time it was repainted as a Decepticon. And like I said, so there's some detail on the back here. So like I said, interesting history with this mold, but I really like him. It's really cool. Very easy to transform. I totally forgot, real quick, I have the instructions. I don't have the original packaging. I have the instructions. Um, like I say, it's very easy to transform once you figure it out. So, that's That's cool though. I really dig that. And on the back we have um, Bumblebee, Optimus, and Grimlock. So I forgot. Yeah, so Grimlock was also a repaint from the Transformers Prime toy line. Um, so yeah, but since this is a collectible, I will be continuing to hold on to this. Especially if I was to ever decide to like sell this guy or throw him in with a, with a, excuse me, a group of other figures or whatever as a freebie or something. I'd throw the manual in as well. But so yeah, so like I said, let's finally transform him. I've just been talking about miscellaneous stuff the whole time. Very easy to transform. Um, just separate the legs, pull the legs down like that, and let's see, pull the arms down. So yeah, or pull this up. Well, reveal his head, and fold this up. Fold the back piece back down, and like I said, once you figure out, so this part's kind of tricky. So right here, there's a little tab um, in this area, and it's supposed to come over this piece, this blue piece under the white car doors. So be careful doing that because I have heard some people there's started to like warp in places or whatever. Um, and do the same thing over here. So yeah. And I believe that's it. Yeah, I believe that's it. So unfortunately for mine, this arm is loose, but he can still hold a pose. Maybe I might try to again try to tighten that at some point. Um, here's the back. So you see, he has detail on the back. I don't know if this was on the Prime Cyberverse smokescreen, the original version of the mold. I don't know. Um, so I'm not sure if these are supposed to be bombs on the back. I guess just use your imagination. Um, he also has some detail on the inside of the car, like the inside right here. It might be kind of hard to see, but that's really cool. Like I said, I don't know if that was on the original mold. Um, but yeah, like I said, he's just a very charming little figure. I just dig him a lot. Um, and mine, so if you can find a weapon small enough to fit in his hand, you can do that. Now this gun, which is a funny story, this gun came from the Mega Bloks Neo Shifter toy line. For anyone who remembers those, I've thought about maybe getting some just to have. Um, growing up, only had one Neo Shifter. They're basically like these robots, alien robot things that could um, transform into a ball, basically, which on it may sound kind of lame, but they were really, really cool. And they had light gimmicks and other cool little features, and they were just really cool. Yeah, really cool robot toys. So in their chest, they had a mini bot that could come out, and the mini bot would be in the shape of a ball. You could unfold it, and it could be a little robot with had guns. So I believe it had two guns, and this gun has survived all these years later. This gun is the only thing that survived that set I had. I think over time it just kind of broke and deteriorated. So I eventually threw it away, and at some point I think I like lost or threw away the little robot. So like I said, this gun is the only surviving piece from that set, which I think is really funny. Um, so if I have Barricade transformed, I have him holding this gun. And you can see there's also some detail on the inside of the arm, so that's neat. So yeah, now Barricade can hold this gun, which is cool. Um, so I can have him hold a weapon. I try to give him like Lego weapons. They don't fit in his hand. So like I said, if you can find a weapon small enough, you could pose him with that, and try to get a good look on his face. May not come in that well, unfortunately, but the mold, the face is just Cyberverse Prime smokescreen. But like I said, he has red eyes. He still has a smile. He looks evil. He just looks like Nemesis smokescreen. But like I said, that doesn't bother me. Um, Size comparison, real quick. Here he is with Prime Smokescreen, who not Prime Smokescreen, Prime Predaking, who was considered a commander class. Him, I think Shockwave, Optimus, maybe Bulkhead, Megatron, um, Insecticon, and I think another and Dreadwing. I think those figures and maybe Shockwave were all like commander class Prime Cyberverse toys, which is a really cool idea. So you can see he's much bigger than him, um, which isn't bad, but that's cool. And articulation. Well, his legs are on a ball joint, so his legs can pretty much go in and out, side to side. Has feet rotation because of the transformation. Um, you can kind of move some other pieces because of transformation. Arms can go up and down, can go 360. So again, I mean, for a little Legends kids toy, he's very fun. He's very charming. Again, if you had, depending where you worked, and if you worked in an office or something, an office setting, and this guy, little guy, you can have on your desk as a nice little desk display piece or whatever. Um, but like I said, he's really charming and better quality than that core class Ironhide, which unfortunately, but like I said, I dig him a lot. I'm glad I held on to him. I recently just kind of brought him out on display. He's just been sitting in a container with my other little legend figures. So yeah, and I guess if you wanted to see, here he is with Slug. So Slug is much bigger. Um, but yeah, so that's Transformers: The Last Night, Cyberverse, or not Cyberverse, Legion class Barricade. Do I recommend them? Absolutely. Especially if you're a Barricade collector or fanatic, this is definitely worth getting. Hopefully you can find it for a good deal, because those legend figures can be overpriced or extremely expensive on the secondhand market. People asking more than what the figures are actually worth, so keep that in mind. He did get a selects figure. Barricade did get a selects figure, which was really cool. Um, Another interesting fact, for Age of Extinction, they used Cyberverse, Transformers Prime Cyberverse Knockout for Decepticon Stinger from Age of Extinction, which I thought was really, really cool. And I would like to get that version, that toy as well. But again, that figure is kind of a little pricey, overpriced on eBay and whatnot. So, but yeah, that's kind of it for this review. I recommend them. Next review, I'm not sure. Might be another Transformer, or maybe something a little bit more expensive. We'll see. But stay tuned, or maybe TikTok, or I still like to show those Toy Biz comics at some point. So eventually, I'll get around to doing that, doing a video with those, showing off those comics. But yeah, like I said, that's it. Like, comment, subscribe, and stay tuned for more. Peace, you guys.